I was delighted to receive this invitation, and I was really impressed that the applied linguistics leadership had the foresight, the stamina, the ingenuity, and the whatwit to put together this gathering in such a short time. But it is so timely, it is so important, and I'm delighted to be here and to share with you some thoughts that I have on this topic of accents. And so what I'd like to talk to you about today is this question of who is it, what is the level of proficiency, what do we do with language when we teach, and how is that related to effective teaching? So I'm going to start by just introducing what I'm going to do, talking about language being a paramount tool for teaching and learning. And in the case that we're talking about in California and in many other parts of this country, in public schools, we have both students and teachers who are using a second language to carry out their tasks. So because we have that situation, we've got a rich situation to study the effectiveness of working with second languages as a learner or as an instructor. So my question, which I want to share with you, is what is the relationship between language proficiency or language fluency and effective teaching? Are there salient features of language or of instruction or of something else that signal the likelihood of success for both students and teachers? And so in this presentation, I will be using some video clips from the UCLA School of Education program for training teachers. And I want to explore these questions with you. So I'm going to have a short presentation, and I'm going to try to hold to the 20 minutes that I was given, and then have 10 minutes of time for discussion. I want to start out by acknowledging my assistance in putting together this paper. Victoria Preciado is one of our students. She's now working on her credential, and I'm going to ask her to help me with this presentation farther down the line. And then Alexia Reyes-McGovern is one of our doctoral students, and she has also been really helpful in helping me think through how to share some of these thoughts, and also help with a PowerPoint, which we worked very hard with, and we still ended up with a glitch here, but with luck, everything will be smooth now. So the first thing I want us to think about is this question of effective teaching. There's a lot of talk in the air about, and maybe noise, about what is, how do we measure good teachers, and should we assess or tie their pay to how well their scores, the scores of their students, and so forth. And there's also a lot of, I think, recognition among the teachers that what we call quality teaching or effective teaching is very local. It has to do with what we're doing with the students we are working with. So I believe that effective teaching is going to build community. It's going to build community within the classroom, and it's going to build community within the community in where it is the context for that school. I think effective teaching manifests enthusiasm for the students and for learning. So it's not enough to know your content. We have faculty here at UCLA who are just experts at a lot of wonderful stuff. I'm not sure about how effective teachers they are. We do have individuals now and then who do get the distinguished teaching awards, such as we have some distinguished here. We have Marian Sels-Murcia, who did get the distinguished teaching award, and so we have evidence that it can be done. But it's not very common at the university level. Therefore, I think it's not enough to know your content. You also need to know how to project it, how to relate to the students, and I believe that for that, you need to know the students. So therefore, then, one of the tasks of a good teacher or of effective teaching is a place which encourages students and teachers to learn from each other. So it's not just a one-way street. And so you're going to promote attendance and participation. That's one of the things that I always say when we were working with bilingual education is, if the students are coming, you're already way ahead of where you have been. Then, with respect to classroom behaviors, we establish rituals, and we have an inclusive culture for the classroom. I think those are essentials that any classroom, regardless of what age or what the topic is or in which community you're working with, you're going to find these kinds of characteristics or these kinds of features. Okay, so quickly moving to native speaker fluency and effective teaching. The question is, how much fluency do you need to be able to convey your content or your love or whatever it is that you're doing with language? Language is a vehicle for transmitting and receiving information, but it's much more than transmitting and receiving content or cognitive adding, subtracting, learning how to do parabolas, learning how to... You are transmitting much more with your voice. We're transmitting much more with our way of speaking. So information and the message are going to transcend the medium, and the medium being the language. And so the question, the issue is that both teachers and students want to understand each other. They want to know what's going on. Every kindergarten child goes to school eager to learn. They are so eager, they just can't stand it. And for some children it works, it is. They come back, with a lot of good feelings because it was a happy day, it was successful. But there are too many children who gradually end up losing that enthusiasm. So I think we need to take this question back to the desire. A teacher earns the title of teacher when we teach. It's not just talking, it's when the teaching has succeeded is when the student learns or when the student captures what it is that we're trying to do. Whether it's a love for the Cat in the Hat, or if it's a love for a rhyme, or it's a love for how to put a rhyme together, or whether it's where to put the accents. And